Now we want to understand what are these terms called data wrangling, group by, combine, pivot, melt, reshape. These are all the ways to manipulate data. We are going to get a messy data. We want to join them, convert rows into column into rows, this and that, and let's see how that all works out. So for an Excel user, these things are like VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, pivot tables, index match, offset, address, indirect, and all these kind of functions that we keep seeing in the Excel. From a SQL point of view, this is group by, left join, right join, inner join, full join, Cartesian product, and all those kind of things. So whenever we see data wrangling, data massaging, all these means taking care of the data and making it ready in the way so that we can just push it off for the machine learning algorithms and then focus on the math and see about how accurate our model is and so on. So for an Excel user and for a SQL user, these things are known a little bit, but not completely. There is no inner join in Excel. There is no Cartesian product in Excel, but likewise, there is no indirect and address of and all kind of fancy things that you could do in Excel, but not in SQL because of the inherent limitation. We want to be aware about terms such as join, combine, pivot, melt, and reshape. So let's try to delve inside that. Let's create our first data frame. So to do that, you have to be with me and put the data, and this creates the first data frame. Now let's see what is melting. Now as the name suggests, melt means to come down from the top, like melting of water. It comes from the atmosphere and it drops down. So when I say melt, I want to bring the whole columns ABC inside a new column. What is the name of that column? The name of that column is, in this case, it's variable. So I'm going to do that and bring all of these ABC variables which are into column and put the values inside here. It's variable and value. This happens a lot because suppose you have in the columns you have all the states and then you have information about those states like New York and some number, California some number, Washington some number, New Jersey some number, and so on. You want to bring all of them down, then you are going to use this melt function. We should know that it exists. We could do some reshaping to make it look a little better. If we want to reverse this, now this time we have the melted stuff, but we want to take this ABC and put it into the column, just the reverse of what we did. So melt and pivot in a way are like two counterparts, like particle and antiparticle. One would bring things from the top down and it's going to make new columns. So that's how melt would work, and reshape would work. Okay, let's look at the next part here. So the next part is going to download some data, going to take only the unique and give us the list of feeds. So it gives us the list of these feeds which is unique. Now we are going to create an empty dictionary, populate that dictionary and create a plot for a histogram. So we'll do histogram again, but this is just to sensitize you. We are creating a data frame collection and we are saying that go inside all of them, and whenever you find this feed, list of feed, inside the list of feed, then do the plot. If plot is not defined, I'm going to go back and import it from the top, and that is going to import it. So the best way to search these kind of an error is search on Google, plot not defined, and copy this quickly, and this is the quickest remedy. So this is how it works, and you can see what the DF is. This is the DF, this is the feed, this is the weight, and this is how you do the histogram. for all of them. We are not going into detail. We are going to come back on this in the next part. Okay. Uh, Now let's look here, because now we have to see what a group by is. And the group by is very similar to how we do group by in SQL. So let's create our data frame. Copy, paste data frame. This is our data frame, key 1, key 2, data 1, data 2. And we are going to group by key 1 and see how that looks like. Now, we just grouped, but we did not perform the aggregation. So we just grouped by key 1. So everything that is of A, which means that the first, the second, and the last is grouped. Everything that is by B is grouped. Once we perform the aggregation, then we'll get the mean of that. So once I go ahead and perform the aggregation, then I get a mean of that column data 1. So mean of 0.14, 0.1, and 0.05, and likewise the mean of that. So be reminded that when you group by in pandas, it does not show you the grouped by stuff in a way in which you can recognize. It's just an object. When you do the aggregation, and always group by is aggregation, because what to do after I group by? Aggregate stuff. So you have to do that stuff manually. You can also do the group by and find out the maximum or the minimum age. Now in our case, this is an Excel writer, but if we were to read something, then we have to read something from data 1, and then we can group by key 1, or this group by age. This is the same data set that I use a lot for people attending my session, and I'm going to show you as an end project when we do that. Okay, if we group by key and key 2, so first it's grouped by key 1 and key 2, and then it takes the mean. So this is grouped by two things. First we group by key 1 and then key 2, which is line by line. And if we were to unstack it, then I'm going to write this and it's going to get unstacked. And key 1 and key 2 would be on the top, and 1 and 2 would become on the row. So this is how I would unstack it. And unstack works only at one level. So this was about group by. We'll still do join in the next part. So we just did group by and the pivot melt in this video.